Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be working with an older collection from We Are Memory Keepers called Shine. This is one where I have a lot of paper, but I don't necessarily have a lot of embellishments, so I'll be pulling in stuff from my stash to work with. This layout is one that I'm working on at a crop in November, so you're going to see my position switch and move to the crop. All right, folks, let's get going. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. The lift we are taking on today, I found it on Pinterest and I don't know where it's from. It was kind of one of just those ones that went back to just the picture. So I really do apologize. If you know whose layout this is, put it in the comments below and I will make an acknowledgement when I can. As I said in the beginning, I am working with the We Are Memory Keepers Shine collection. So this is definitely a couple years old. We Are Memory Keepers works only on tools now, not paper collections. So you'll note my photos are different orientations and different sizes from the original sketches layout and original layout. Wow, okay, words, okie dokie. And so obviously my layout's going to look a little bit different, but I really do try to stick with the exploding hearts. That's really what drew me to this layout, and I really do love the way this layout turned out. So what I have here is I trimmed down this dark wood grain piece of paper, and now I think I'm going to, I am going to use this yellow arabesque style pattern. So Iris Fox, I think it's Iris Whimsy Fox, something along those lines, had shown this trick of how to gut out paper using your Caterpillar, which is a rather than a track, it's a tracked cutter rather than one that can be lifted up. So I was able to do that. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not the world's prettiest cut I've ever seen, but it works. I didn't have to bring a second trimmer. Ooh, I dropped my stuff, sorry. And even though it's totally uneven on the center part, that is going to be hidden, so it doesn't matter. And now I'm using another tip from a YouTuber, my friend Kelly O'Black, who I do another series with, and she had said when you're gutting paper, just run a bead along the top, and that way, rather than doing all four sides, and that way, if you don't get it on straight the first time, you're not trying to pull up all four sides, and it works great, and it's so much easier since I started working on it this way. So I always I'm a part of the online community where I, listen on several different message boards, and people are always like, oh, I'm an experienced scrapbooker. What could I possibly learn from watching YouTube videos? And you'd be surprised what you learn, like little tips and tricks, maybe a technique you may know about, but you don't think about doing. And then once you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't done that in so long. I should totally do that. And it just can bring new things to you that you haven't thought about doing. Now, in the original layout, there are two strips of paper. I'm using these chevron pieces, so I went ahead, cut those out, and then fussy cut them out. And now what I'm doing is I'm lining up my photos. They're going to overlap each other because rather than obviously in the original layout, they were just one straight horizontal line, I've got different orientations and stuff, but there's a lot of dead space in all of my photos. So what we are doing here is back in March, I went to a crop in Raleigh, North Carolina, and one of my friends, she and her husband own a craft chocolate shop. And while we were there, she wanted to visit a friend of hers who also owns a craft chocolate shop called Escazu. I believe that's the name. The title of the page is that, but I'm not looking at it, so I don't remember. So it will be in the title of this video. So and a couple of us tagged along to go to the chocolate shop with her, and we just had a really great time. They let us tour the back where they make all the chocolate, and they gave us um, some desserts, and we bought some chocolate, and it was just a really, really good time. So I wanted to use this line because I really felt it evoked that natural feeling of both the place and the idea of a craft business, the idea of a small business um, being organic, and not organic in the sense of like organic food, but in the sense of growing from a love of something and then working really hard at it. And it just, I'm being metaphorical here and I apologize, but that's just how this particular layout came about. So I used this new glue I've been using by Art Glitter. It is not glitter glue, it dries clear, and I really like it for it. The one I bought came with a precision tip, and then it has a longer drying time than the Scotch tacky glue, so I'm able to move things around. So now I'm starting on my, what I'm calling my party popper style embellishment. So I'm going to start in a V shape down at the bottom. I'm using some of the cork pieces, and then I'm filling in with flair, with wood veneer, with enamel dots, and then at the end I'm going to add some gold Heidi Swap Color Shine as well. I loved the way this turned out. Now, obviously, mine is much more subtle than the original layout, which had the folded hearts. I'm not a huge fan of the lots of depth to a layout. It's just personally because I know mine are going behind plastic. If you display yours or it's more of an art journal, and I totally understand that some people love it, and that's great. And if it works for them, it works for them. For me, your scrapbooking has to work for you. So if it makes you happy and it works for you, have fun, enjoy, yay for you. It's just not something that works for me, so I don't bother doing it. So I'm going ahead and gluing down all my things. And when I go to glue one of these feathers down at the top, it fell on that cork piece. And I was going to move it. And then I was like, you know what? I actually really like that. So I kept it there. I mean, it was kind of one of those happy accidents. Speaking of accidents, I'm actually voiceovering this right before I'm going to put it up. It is Saturday morning, the 8th. The reason I am so far behind is because on Thursday morning, I was rear-ended on my way to drop my nephew off at school before I went to work. So I've been a little sore the past couple days. My nephew's fine, but he ended up staying home from school yesterday. I ended up staying home from work. Uh, there was no damage to my car. Thank goodness, because I literally that Thursday I woke up and I went, oh, today's the day I pay off my car, and then literally within an hour I was in a car accident. Luckily, we're not hurt. I mean, like I said, we're a little sore. Advil and rest is taking care of it. There's a little bit of scratching on my rear bumper, but there's already a bit of scratching due to people hitting me while they park because parallel parking is an issue apparently. So I'm sorry. I'm just decorating the V of embellishments with enamel dots. Those are from my mind's eye. I kind of veered off onto my own little story. So I also have these clear-ish embellishments. Those came with the Shine line. So I used a couple of those as well. And I was looking for what to use for the title. I knew I didn't want a big title. And I remembered I actually got these tile stickers. Those are from Pretty Little Studio. And we actually got those in our swag bag at the crop. So it was kind of perfect that it was that mustardy color that I was really looking for. So I'm just going ahead and talking about how we went to this chocolate shop and how, you know, we had a great time. It was fun. Normally when I go to crops, I don't end up leaving the hotel. So it was kind of fun to go and do something. So what I'm doing now is finishing up. This is my last thing. I'm going to cover up everything besides the V of embellishment, and that's where I'm going to take my Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine and liberally mist over it. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a wonderful winter season. Please make sure you head on over to Christy's channel and check out her take on this layout. And if you guys could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here, and bye!